Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolutely massive breakthrough in blockchain infrastructure, one that practically solves the ongoing Web3 identity crisis. And you know what the most brilliant part is? It does this by completely flipping the script. Instead of trying to build complex, brand new identity structures from the ground up, it just taps into the trust that already exists out there in the real world. So we open with this massive paradox. On one hand, blockchains absolutely need compliance for emerging regulations. Think Europe's MiCA or global travel rules, which essentially demand to know exactly who is transacting. But on the other hand, putting your personal, private data on a permanent public ledger is an absolute non-starter. It's the ultimate rock and a hard place. And frankly, the options we have right now are just terrible compromises. Think about it. Right now, you're forced to either give up your privacy to a centralized KYC provider, buy some new specialized hardware, or I don't know, scan your retinas, which obviously causes huge friction, or wait 3 to 5 years for decentralized identifiers, or DIDs, to build up an unproven infrastructure. And regulators don't even fully recognize those yet. Well, here is our major epiphany for today. 4 billion. There are already over 4 billion active X509 digital certificates worldwide right now. To put that into perspective, in South Korea alone, 20 million National Public Key Infrastructure, or NPKI, certificates are used every single day for banking and government services. They're already out there, just sitting securely right on our devices. Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The Web3 identity paradox. 2. The 4 billion ID solution. 3. How zk-X509 actually works. 4. The power of selective disclosure. 5. Real-world Web3 applications. And finally, 6. Bridging trust to Web3. Section 1. The Web3 identity paradox. Compliance versus privacy. Let's really unpack this severe tension between regulatory compliance and on-chain privacy. The landscape is changing so fast, as recent sanctions around things like Tornado Cash and frameworks like MiCA have made crystal clear privacy without compliance is just a dead end. Institutional capital is largely staying entirely off-chain because of this exact collision. I mean, they need anti-money laundering clearance for sure, but they absolutely cannot broadcast their proprietary trading positions to the entire world. Section 2. The 4 billion ID solution. No new credentials. The crucial point we're getting at is that we don't need to build new identity systems from scratch to solve this mess. Actually, we can achieve near-zero friction by simply bridging the legally binding trust that governments already gave us over 2 decades ago. These X509 certificates carry real legal force. And because users already have them sitting securely in the hardware enclaves of their laptops and smartphones, we're totally removing that massive hurdle of credential distribution. Section 3. How zk-X509 actually works. 3-stage architecture. So let's dive into the technical magic of how this actually functions under the hood. The architecture flows through 3 distinct steps. First step, your device's keychain generates signatures. Second, a local prover using a cutting-edge zero-knowledge virtual machine called SP1 creates a proof. And third, a smart contract on the blockchain verifies this proof for roughly 300,000 gas. And here is the truly fascinating part. Your private key acts as a complete black box. It never ever leaves your device's hardware enclave. The circuit only verifies the result of the signature, not the key itself. Deep inside that zero-knowledge circuit, 7 specific things are verified. It checks the certificate chain, the validity period, and your proof of ownership. Crucially, it verifies certificate authority membership while actively hiding which specific CA issued your ID using a Merkle tree. It also computes a unique nullifier, which is essentially an anonymous digital fingerprint, and processes optional revocation lists alongside selective disclosure constraints. And the resulting privacy? It's just brilliant. When we look at what actually hits the blockchain, there is 0 raw personally identifiable information. None. The chain only sees anonymous nullifiers, timestamps, Merkle roots, and whatever specific data you explicitly choose to share. Section 4. Power of selective disclosure. Prove attributes. Now, what's really interesting is how this puts you, the user, in absolute control of your data footprint. Think of this kind of like a bouncer at a club. Using a bit mask, you dictate exactly what gets revealed to the bouncer. You could choose to show absolutely nothing but a basic verified status, or you can prove you're from a specific country. And here's a vital detail. If you disclose your country, it's recorded openly as a plaintext variable on the chain, not hidden as a hash. But alternatively, you can prove you meet a requirement, like, say, being from a specific permitted region, without ever revealing exactly which country that is. You are in total control. The system also adapts to real-world regulatory constraints through two different modes. Local proving happens right on your device for maximum privacy. But for regulated entities that legally must collect KYC data, there's delegated proving. In this mode, the heavy computational lifting is handled by the operator's server. Now, because the certificate data is sent to the operator, this absolutely requires explicit, signed consent from the user. But remember our earlier point? Even in delegated proving, your private key never leaves your hardware. This gives institutions the KYC data they legally need without compromising your base security.
Section 5, Real-World Web3 Applications, zk-Scatter, and DeFi.
So how does this incredible flexibility translate into the real world? Because let's face it, one size definitely does not fit all in Web3. Well, since the generated nullifier is mathematically unlinkable and completely unpredictable, a single zk-X509 deployment can magically serve multiple protocols at once. You can set the rule to 1 wallet per certificate for strict DAO voting, 3 wallets for a DeFi protocol, or completely unlimited wallets for a privacy-preserving, decentralized exchange. It's incredibly modular. And hey, this isn't just academic theory we're talking about here. zk-X509 is live in production on the Sepolia testnet right now with a protocol called zk-Scatter. Both the relayers and their users are gated by a single, simple, is-verified smart contract check. It effectively enables privacy, but only among participants who are cryptographically proven to be verified, without logging any of their personal data. It's working today. Section 6. Bridging Trust to Web3. Existing IDs to Web3. As we step back and look at the bigger picture, the distinction between zk-X509 and decentralized identifiers, or DIDs, is pretty clear. DIDs are trying to build entirely new trust models and new issuers from scratch. That means they face huge regulatory uncertainty and a super long adoption curve. zk-X509, on the other hand, bridges established, government-recognized trust instantly. Actually, they aren't enemies at all. They're perfectly complementary approaches, just meant for different timelines. Which brings us to this great philosophical takeaway. Before you build a new trust system, have you checked if there's already one that works? Identity really shouldn't be a massive barrier to entry that requires users to go out and buy retina scanners or hand over sensitive documents to random startups. It should just be an invisible layer of trust we can seamlessly and securely connect to. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to ponder. Is the future of on-chain identity already sitting in your pocket? Well, for over 4 billion people worldwide, the answer just might be yes. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this changes how you view the digital certificates you already hold.